Welcome back to the channel. So this week we're going to explore some of the games that have been flops, and we haven't played in a while. Um, these games have had updates since the last time I've done content on them, and I thought it would be just kind of fun to just go in and check them out and see what's changed, if anything's changed, has anything improved, what have they improved, so on and so forth. So we're going to be taking a look at three games, basically. We're going to be taking a look at Taxi Life. We're going to be taking a look at what is, oh man, I forgot the name of it. Trucks and Logistics, I think. I think that's the name of it, Trucks and Logistics. And we're going to be taking a look at Heavy Cargo, which is what we're taking a look at today. A word of note, I won't be taking a look at Alaskan Road Truckers because I just refuse to play that game. I know that game hasn't improved, and I'm not going to play on the road because there hasn't been anything done with that game yet. Supposedly, it's supposed to get the graphics update. So basically, it's supposed to look like this game. When is that going to happen? I don't know. Is it going to happen? I don't really know. But with all that out of the way, let's get into the game and let's take a look and see if there's anything noticeably changed and see if maybe my opinion of this game has changed at all since the last time I played it. All right, here we are in the game. So I chose the mission. We're going to be transporting pipes. If I can remember how the hell to get out of the truck here. It's been a while since I played the game, so pardon me for not remembering all the controls. What is it? X. Okay, it's X. Nice, okay.
Deliver the pipes from Velslow Harbor to the farm northeast of the town. The trailer shouldn't be a problem. Just make sure you don't get too far in at the roundabouts.
Okay, so I've always said I thought it was pretty cool that they had the actual voiceover in the game. That's pretty cool. So this is our truck for today. Okay, we got our load of pipes. Let's just hop in the truck. So my biggest issue with this game was always the steering. The steering is just horrendous in this game. I don't know. It doesn't feel like they changed it. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I had to drive here in the van and it was horrible. It still steers the same way in the van. The steering wheel just doesn't return fast enough. It doesn't center fast enough, and you're like constantly fighting the wheel when you play the game. Completely takes you out of the immersion of it, you know. And I mean, for you guys that play this game and enjoy it, like, do your vehicles steer this way? I mean, my vehicle does not steer like this. I've driven big trucks. They don't steer like this. I mean, it's just bad. It's just really bad. But I decided to give it the benefit of the doubt because maybe it's different in the. I mean, it does seem a little different driving this truck compared to the van. I will say that. Yeah. Okay. So it's a little better. It's still not perfect. See, like right there, the sensitivity is all wrong. And I mean, I've tried to adjust it, guys. I've went in, I've adjusted all that. It is just, there is no good setting that I can find where the truck steers even close to normally or realistically. And it's a shame because I do like this game. I don't think the game is a bad game. And you know, it really boggles me because this is from the same developers as On the Road, and with all the faults that On the Road has, the steering wasn't one of them, was it? I'm trying to think. Wait, was the steering like this? Is the steering in that game this bad? Oh my god, you know what? I may have to reinstall that game just to see. because for some reason I don't remember driving in that game, the actual driving, to be this bad. I don't think it was great, but I don't think it was quite like this. If you guys know, if you guys remember, drop it in the comments for me. I would love to know what you guys think. And yeah, like, how, if you guys are playing this still, let me know also the steering. How do you guys deal with this? Like, how is this okay? You know? So I will say, again, the graphics. I never thought the graphics in this particular game were bad. I thought they were a step up from On the Road. They're not quite as good as, say, Fernbus. They're definitely nowhere near as good as ETS2 and ATS. They're just not. And still to this day, I feel like playing those games have kind of ruined me for these games, because I feel like those truly are the pinnacle of trucking sims. And I know it sucks that they're not on console, but I mean, really, if you guys could play those games, you would just see what I mean and understand. And I truly feel that there's no good reason why we can't have that standard on console. Even if the argument is, well, it can't look as good on console, or it can't be as big as the map on console. Okay, whatever. The driving physics can at least be the same on console. We have games that have good driving physics. SnowRunner, which we're going to take a look later on this week. We're going to hop back in that and see, just revisit. That drives better. Those trucks drive better. In all the racing games, those cars, they handle better, they drive better. So there's no reason why we can't get at least the driving right. And that's my biggest issue with this game, is that they just don't get the driving right, and that's the most important part. The fact that you're fighting this steering wheel the whole trip. And like I said, credit where credit is due, because in this truck, it's not as bad as it is in the van. The van is bad. Okay, guys, I'm not gonna lie. The van is really bad. This isn't as bad as that. Like, I could keep this pretty good. I do feel like using the wheel would be helpful, because at least with the wheel I can see where the actual physical steering wheel is, so I know when to turn it back. With the controller, it's a little bit more awkward. But I mean, it's doable. We are doing it. And yeah, I mean, for one, we don't have that damn fog in this game like we have in On the Road, which, again, these are the same developers. This is the same engine, I believe. Yeah, I think this is still running on Unity. And I mean, it doesn't look bad. It looks pretty good. Now, I know the developers did mention that they were going to bring these graphics over to On the Road. I don't know how true that is. I don't know whether that's something that's definitely going to happen or not. If they do, it may persuade me to play that game again. But I don't know. I mean, if they update it, I'll definitely reinstall it, and I'll definitely check out that update and see what that looks like. So that's the other thing. When you're in the missions, you can break laws. If you run a red light, you'll get pinged. If you go over the speed limit, you'll get pinged. When you're in the van, it is chaos. It is whatever goes. It's like Wild Wild West, baby. You can do whatever you want in that van. You can run red lights, you can speed, you can go over sidewalks, you can pretty much do whatever you want. And you don't get in trouble for it at all. So only when you're in the big rigs and only when you're on the missions do you get in trouble for it. So yeah, like, the one thing I noticed also, like, driving through here, the map is a lot more interesting than the map and On the Road. And On the Road is based on real parts of Germany, right? I mean, and it's so boring. It looks like they just use the same assets, especially when you get out of the cities. It just all looks the same. There's no variation. There's no variety. And again, that fog really ruins it. You know, the fact that we don't have that in this game, it really speaks volumes to me that they did step up their game. You know, but then again, there's still so much that hinders it. You know, and I think I hate to say it. I don't like to say lazy, but it does feel like laziness when you have a developer that puts out a driving game that doesn't have wheel support or has wheel support with no force feedback support. You know, the driving, like obviously they've driven this game. Do they think this is realistic? Do they think the way the wheel moves? Do they think that's realistic? I mean, surely they've all driven in real life. They know that this isn't how steering works, right? Another thing, this game's on PS5. There is no DualSense support. You know, it's a crying shame that we have that controller and so many of these titles just don't utilize it. You know, I understand that this is a small studio. I do understand that. But I feel like you need to stand out, right? Like, we get all these games and they're just all mediocre at best. None of these games really stand out. And if we can just get one game like this that can stand out from the crowd, that has something that none of the other driving sims have, they will be king, right? I mean, if we could get a game where the driving physics are pretty good, if we get force feedback on the wheels, if we get haptic support on the DualSense, you know what I mean? If we could get the game to run at, you know what? I'm gonna say even a solid 30 FPS. Okay, because I would take a solid 30 FPS that's stable than 60 FPS that's constantly dropping, right? That goes from, oh, it's 60, it's 30, it's 50, it's 10, it's 20, it's 6, you know what I mean? Like, just stabilize it. I would much prefer a stable 30 FPS than anything else. Obviously, a stable 60 FPS would be amazing, but, you know, I don't know. I'm just saying, the FPS has to be stable because that really messes with your eyes and really hurts everything in the game. All right, guys, so we are going to end this one. So my thoughts on this game is that my feelings haven't changed. It's still rough. It still needs work. It still needs a little bit of tweaking. I don't feel like it needs anything major, just a little bit. It needs to fix the steering. And I think this game would be a lot more fun and a lot more playable. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. As always, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.